But I want to go back to what you were talking about before the draft, when we got into this. The TSM schedule, you said it's still very possible for them to make it into playoffs, but you got to make sure that, you know, you're winning the games against the opponents that you're predicted to be able to beat. The Des talked about that at the top of the day, too. If you're a middle-of-the-pack team, you need to guarantee that you beat lower of the pack. Walks over, clears that ward. Yeah, he's not going to get the gank off, but without that vision, now you're going to have to play even more safe. Tactical and, oh, Flashy with a nice dredge line. He's gone fishing, and it's going to be a big one pulled up here for Immortals. They'll get first blood, but Boogie's ready to do something about it and get one back. He's got to be careful because Viego is nearby. They see that mist coming around the wall. They'll deploy Boogie's clone to make sure.
Some pseudo-sustain here, but both teams out around mid. This could be a 3v3.
It's a party in mid lane. Maple got knocked up into the air. Kenby goes for the flash, and the follow from Fleshy is ready to go. Immortals find the first kill. Boogie jumps in, seeing if he may be able to recover something here second. But they still had the body. They still had that spirit there for Kenby to possess. First neutral objective in the Rift Herald. You can see Balulu just using the ulti, chunk Maple low, make it harder for TSM to try to interfere with this objective.
Exactly. He hits the 1Q there, and then that's all it takes for him to just be willing to just let it rip. I mean, Maple's getting poked out very heavily. This is almost impossible to enter. If you try to walk through that corridor, you're going to get roasted by Vel'Koz W's. The E is very easy to hit walking through that corridor as well. So, you know, just let it rip. Use that ulti for the lane prio later on in the game when you have a couple items.
Ability of a Wukong and an Annie working together for those big AoEs, but TSM's got to make sure they stop this bleeding.
Absolutely, and I think range is going to be the big difficulty for them. You know, can they actually deal with the Varus and Vel'Koz poke later on? Sure, Sion could get to the point where he builds a Warmog, he starts shrugging off that poke, but they do have the ability to try to poke past him, look for champions like the Annie that really do struggle to actually find positioning as long as you're tracking them on vision, and he can really struggle. Jace, it is not that more traditional poke as you're talking about, where you can just have that brick wall standing in front of it, deliberately tanking all the poke and kind of shrugging it off. It's much more difficult to deal with. Sion can definitely clear brushes, can help you to try to establish that vision, but look at this!
Oh, Maple just getting chunked for a massive amount of HP, but TSM have found their way in from a counterattack, and Chime's gonna find the first kill. They're gonna grab the second, and it goes over to Boogie. TSM, they get jumped on.
Against the Vel'Koz. So I do think an HP-based item here could be more effective in a game like this. We'll see if that does actually hurt Solo a little bit later on. But he has 0 defensive stats against the Vel'Koz, who can be a threat to frontline.
Well, at least for the early phases here that we are still in, it'll be doing fine against the Gnar and the Viego, but Fleshy's got to back up in the bottom side. The Gnar has showed up to try to help these guys now, but again, it's a defensive ulti from Kenby. It's Revenge having to jump away defensively. It's TSM bringing in the choo-choo train. Here comes Sion, but he won't catch anybody in time. Instead, the laser sweeps in from Balulu, but again, it's not enough. Everybody's throwing in the kitchen sink, but nobody's got a nice Kenshin. Immortals and TS
actually start this up. They know that Annie had to go back to base and has no TP, so they do have the extra man. And I think that's going to give them the confidence to try to actually secure this dragon.
Okay.
You can see TSM is basing, so Immortals, yeah, they don't get any kills, but they do maintain a slight gold advantage, and they grab their first dragon of the game.
All right, they're going to feel good about that. The point
reliant on those auto attacks, and when there are people who are doing heavy magic damage, this thing doesn't really do much for you. TSM, though, trying to trade back with his Herald on the top side.
He'll still be a raid boss, but the raid boss does have that red weak spot that says, hey, if you hit me here, that's how you're supposed to win this fight. Oh. Ooh, close, but unfortunately.
Your own play to feel like you're in a good spot.
Oh, they're gonna find a pick. Uh-oh, over the wall they go, into the ground he goes. Chime is down.
Dragon. First move to Dragon becomes so important, but Revenge is going to get this tower. Is he going to get out? Boogie's got to try to actually interrupt the hop here with his ulti. That's what he's looking for.
Just starts off immediately with the Q so that then he can get the reset after using it, capable of doing some AoE. And you can see Balulu will just nuke those waves down, and it's time for Maple to try to run away because his allies have already fled the scene, but it's Fleshy and Kenby coming down. They all come back. Fleshy just mad-lifed him, and Maple doesn't have any way home. Kenby
to the side where he's going to be looking for that flash out. He goes down, and that means it should be an easy dragon here for Immortals. Revenge is rotating down, has a good amount charged up on that Mega Gnar. So if TSM actually commit to the fight, Revenge could look for a flank here, and that would be really problematic. They're going to go for a steal, not going to be able to get it.
Can't get it Immortals. That means they can just secure them.
Looking for these picks, establishing vision control, and play heavily towards those dragons, try to go for soul.
Oh man, Maple just showed his face in top lane, and
Double
Immortals
TP.
are immediately ready to try to punish it. 2 TPs coming in at the same time. Solo's gonna be knocked up into the air. The Vel'Koz damage just drowns him. Balulu takes out the front line of the very start. Tactical's nearly killed, and Turtle's gonna get the outplay off the side. It'll be a 1-for-1. The top laner for the AD carry as the fight explodes.
Health though, Boogie is down to about half health. They're gonna look for the engage. Here comes the TP.
Solo just wants it. They know they can't let him poke. He cannot tank. There's just no way against the Vel'Koz. Solo's too squishy. See it? TSM threw him into the grinder, and Immortals are about to hit Soul Point on that Infernal Soul.
Yeah, Sion's just not even close to being able to actually tank up all of this damage, even with the Karma behind him. He's gonna need a lot more items, and he is getting dangerously behind the pace of the game. When these damage dealers on the other team get too far ahead of your tanks, you can never really hit that critical mass where you can become kind of that brick wall and create space for your damage dealers. And from really putting their damage over the top.
Solo's going in again. Boogie's right with him. Tactical's killed immediately. Balulu fires the laser back over the wall. He'll get one back on Chime. I believe that's 100-0.
Revenge can potentially join the team with the TP if he needs to. We'll have to pay respect to the fact that multiple members did base.
Oh, that was not what Revenge
did.
wanted. He wanted to try to use the ulti to knock them away before he got locked down. He commits the flash even, trying to get further away from this. That was an error because you're not getting away.
Varus and Vel'Koz on red side can contest Baron really well without committing because they can just constantly poke over the wall. And that is what TSM will have to deal with here. Maple on the side, though, and Solo on the other.
They want to find some way to stop this. Boogie tries to engage on him, but immediately loses most of his power. Solo's ready for the follow-up, and Turtle is disintegrated. They follow it up with Chains of Corruption from Tactical. Look at Solo on the front line trying to survive this. As long as Balulu stays on him, it's so hard for the Scion to live.
On the side here, hard to engage in onto. Maple's trying to find him.
Maple just flash engages with the Vel'Koz. He'll survive a little bit longer here with a stopwatch. Revenge swoop. Balulu's unstoppable. Balulu's still alive. Maple doesn't kill him. Vel'Koz is running away, but Tibbers gets enraged. They'll end up trading the mid laner for a couple picks on the enemy squad. Maple and Chime both down. Tactical running.
Be able to get it. We're back to live. We're looking for Soul.
TSM wants to go in. They find Fleshy. Balulu! Port taking a lot of damage, but it won't matter when Vel'Koz is over the wall. How many times will TSM get caught by this Vel'Koz laser? The follow-up damage comes through, and Solo's forced to ult away. But now it's TSM taking out the enemy jungler and finding themselves with a man advantage. Balulu's still the X factor. He's still the one that might be able to find the damage over the a massive chunk coming from this poke, coming from this Vel'Koz. Turtle goes in. He just might die. No, he won't. That Turtle went wild, baby. He gets the kill shot on Tactical, and finding themselves with a man advantage. Balulu's still the X factor. He's still the one that might be able to find the damage over the wall. Again, it's going to be a massive chunk coming from this poke, coming from this Vel'Koz. Turtle goes in. He just might die. No, he won't. That Turtle went wild, baby. He gets the kill shot on Tactical, and the bottom jungle fight rages on. Balulu's still alive, and that's the only man TSM's really worried about right now.
They got this
They've
now.
got the trap line down, and it means they'll secure the Drake and stop the Soul.
Man, that almost looked like a colossal hit from Turtle. That was so...
Auto attack damage as Maple tries to get away, but the ultimate from Nautilus is still chasing. Now Immortals are looking for their moment. They're already going to kill off Maple, but Boogie's found the back line. He goes in for Tactical. He flashes to guarantee the kill. Kenby wants to get out, but Balulu's locking down the enemy jungler. They can't get the reset there for the Viego. Resurrection comes out. Revenge wants to go over the wall, but he's stopped by Solo. He has to flash to get the follow-up, and now Turtle's going to be locked down. They try to go for a bit more damage, but it's a 3v2. They get the execute, and Kenby has gone in. Solo tries to stand, but against Balulu, he can only fall. A triple for Turtles with the right on his epitaph as Immortals take out 4. Their jungler's still alive, and that Baron's looking mighty tasty.
Man, what a fight from both sides there. That was...
Drake, it is Infernal Soul supplementing all that poke they already have. TSM have used Turtle's traps to close off the pathway up into the enemy blue buff jungle. As you can see, Tactical and Ken V starting up the Drake. They're pulling it down towards the bottom side of the river, further away from the traps of the Caitlyn. Some of those traps expiring now as TSM reassessing what they need to do, where they need to be. Balulu, still the guy to keep your eyes on. Solo wants to zone Kinby and Tactical away, but he's got to be careful he doesn't just get caught out. Balulu stepping back, providing a little bit more covering fire as Solo has to flash away now as well. Boogie wants Balulu. Fleshy blocks the ace in the hole from hitting the mid laner, and Immortals seem to have won the health fight, but hasn't been convincing enough to force the Drake now. Maple and Turtle, both still with full HP. Boogie the same. They want to buy enough time for Solo to retreat and return with the teleport. Immortals still using that poke. They've still got Balulu safely behind a wall. Turtle had to flash away. The Drake at 3,000 HP. Fleshy's here on the front line and Turtle's free firing. Drake down to 2K. They want to burn it down. It's going to be stolen by Wild Turtle. TSM have managed to stop the Soul again. A one-for-one trade, but the jungler's down. Revenge wants the angle, and now
Pretty much fully prepped. TSM would like to pop it right now. If they can get some damage onto this Meganar, force him to Mega out early before IMT is ready, that would be huge, but Turtle's just gonna kill it. They're not even there. It's going down instantly.
Turtle just has gone. DPS. The Soul is gone. TSM weathered the storm for the longest time, and now over the wall goes Boogie. Pop goes Tactical. Balulu is exhausted, and TSM ain't done. Boogie with a flash follow. Balulu is down. Balulu is down, and that means Immortals are short to follow. Turtle flashes forward. That's what you know him for. That's what you love him for. And that's what won TSM this.
Rushing down the fourth one, then getting those kills. Revenge not going to be able to defend. TSM will take it, and it is a monster performance from Turtle. 10-3-6 on the Caitlyn. Really showing up here for TSM on the LCS stage.